Hands on the wood. This is your start. 3, 2, 1, go! Some good racing right there.
Hello and welcome back to the Empire Workshop. I used to say something else and it rhymed. So I am back from Sawfest 2025 and I've got to wait for Grant to get all of the times done and everything. You know, he's a busy guy. So I don't have the video footage, the official Sawfest footage. I'm very thankful. And, you know, I'm sure that they like it too. But I'm very thankful that those guys work with me, you know, and I get to actually use the official footage to put together the races so that we can see how everybody did, how it all worked out. And thank you guys. Thanks, Mandy. I know that you probably hate, I'm guessing you probably hate being the timer every year. Maybe one year I'll be a timer and I just won't even race. But yeah, thanks for doing that. Thanks for sharing the videos with me so that I can actually put together a nice formal package of each and every class. But I don't have the footage just yet, so I can't do anything with it. The way it always goes is we're all just talking and hanging out and having fun, you know, Saturday night. And nobody wants to break out the computers and swap the footage over. And so then either maybe it goes into Sunday and I can get the footage on Sunday, or we share all the footage in the cloud and stuff. And the cloud is a pain in the ass. The best way to do it is like just back and forth. But anyways, that's enough of that. How did the race go? Well, I did not compete in any of the what did they call them? I think they were calling hot saw classes, I think. So the Holtzforma G366 and the Holtzforma or Neotech 3120. If Neotech is making a 366, they could run that too. But I never competed in either of those two classes. I didn't compete in the cheap saw class. And I feel like there was one more that I didn't compete in that day. That was on Friday. But I did compete in the 372 and the Steel 660 or Husqvarna 395 XP clone saw. The Clone Wars. I did compete in both of those classes. And there's a funny story with that. And then the next day I competed in everything, and it was a great time, And so I've been asked, you know, how did I do? Well, I did pretty shitty. But the one class that I had, and here's the funny story, the one class that I had an opportunity to get a podium finish was my farm hack. This guy right here. If you haven't seen the videos on the farm hack, you know, just type in farm hack on YouTube. 372 XP clone saw, blah, blah, blah. But this thing, I got it. It's a Farm Mac, which is made by Neotech, and everything that could be wrong with it was wrong with it. And so I had to go through it with a fine-tooth comb and fix everything and then build it. And it turned out really great. That's actually my winningest chainsaw. If I'm going to win any class, or at least do well in any class, that's the class. It does really, really great. And what's crazy is I built that like 3 years ago. I know so much more now. And I could do better. And I've always got it in my head. I need to go ahead and redo that, and I will at some point, but right now it's just not one of my priorities. So and it runs good, it's great. So what happened was they had the opportunity to do a bracket race for that class and that alone, because they just had enough wood, right? And I was like, yeah, do it. Bracket racing is fun because, normally you just get up there and you make your cut, and then it's based off the times, whoever cut fastest. So you only get one chance to run. Whereas if you do bracket, if you go up there, you do well, then you cut again. If you do well, you cut again. If you do well, you cut again. And so you get an opportunity to do more runs, and it's fun. And so I was like, yeah, go for it, right? And so we all went the first run. I got 4th place, which is damn good in a field of like 45. That's damn good. I was hitting the lick. It was good. Had a good run. And so I was really, really happy about it. But Smitty was right behind me, 5th place. And so whenever they set up the bracket, you had 8, the top 8, right, went on and to the next round. And so the Elite 8, there you go. That's what's up. So the Elite 8 goes in, and me and Smitty are against each other. And well, I'm not much different, but Smitty's always looking to have some fun video, and beforehand, he was like, hey, let's do some trash talking. It's you and me, right? And we're going against each other. I'm like, oh, okay. And he's like, let's trash talk each other. And I was like, okay. And then he goes on and goes, yeah, let's put on a show. Let's put on a show. And so I was like, okay, sure, no problem. I'll put on a show, And so whenever we go up there, he had asked for the trash talking. And so, yeah, I said, I hope you got your wood screws because I'm going to blow your doors off. And, and just acting like a jackass, right? It was bad, right? So the class before this, right, was the 395 clone saw class. And 395 or steel 660 clone saws. You can run either one. And we were only allowed to do 2 cuts. Uno, dos. 2 cuts. Well, the very next time I'm running is the bracket race for the 372 against Smitty, and he just told me to trash talk. All right? Before Smitty and myself, it was supposed to be Garrett and Nate, right? Garrett and Nate Blakesley, Garrett Barker and Nate Blakesley. And they were going to go, but Nate broke the handle off of his chainsaw. Boop, broke it off. And so they got postponed. They did not go. Now, me and Smitty comes up. I've been told to trash talk, and I'm concentrating on that. Remember, the last race that I did was the 395 XP, right, which was 2 cuts. I haven't seen anybody go in front of me. I'm the first person with this. Everything is always 3 cuts, almost always, But that 2 cuts was right in my head, and so I have to do 2 cuts, right? And I'm trash talking and everything. I was supposed to have somebody watch it go first, because whenever you go very first, you've got to have it down pat. You got to know what you're doing, because you don't get to watch anybody else screw up. I'm the guy that screwed up. So I get up there, and me and Smitty go, and I'm sorry, I blew him away. He didn't have a good run, and his saw is good. They're very, very even, but I was dusting his ass. I beat him bad, and I did my 2 cuts, and I look back. He wants me to be a jackass, so I'm going to be a jackass. And I'm like, yeah, right? That kind of stuff. Well, everybody's yelling at me, 3 cuts, 3 cuts, 3 cuts. And, I even shut the saw off and everything. And so I went ahead and did my 3rd cut. So Smitty went on to get 3rd place, which I'm happy for Smitty. Smitty's my buddy. But I wanted it to be me, of course. Who doesn't want to be the one winning and stuff, But yeah, it was really sucked too, because, I was beating him. You know, I think I'm going to have the video at some point. You'll be watching it.
Yeah.
Stand down. Want Garrett to stand down?
Yes.
Okay.
Coming back.
We'll come back to this one. So now we're going to move into Smitty. Bodie will be on stand 2. Smitty will be on stand 3.
What's that?
Open right your wood screws. You're going down. I'm going to blow your door down. All right. Trash talking has begun.
How do you like my 272?
The battle of the YouTube.
The joy of bracket racing. All right.
The loser goes home.
Gentlemen, 30 seconds to warm up your saw. Hands to the wood. This is your start. 3, 2, 1, go! 3 cuts! Oh boy, the technicalities. That is going to make a fantastic video.
To use a great West Virginia word, who did worser on that one?
Who did worse? There's 2 there, yeah.
Hey, Bodie!
You know, but it was just, oh, it hurt so bad. It hurt so bad. And then, you know, I can only see this as I'm clearly very well loved at that show there in Ohio and with everybody, because every mother trucker except for just a tiny handful had to make fun of me over and over and over again for the next 2 days. I'm just like, geez, come on, guys. People I don't even know going, Bodie, 3 cuts, you know. But in the moment, you know, it wasn't a big deal other than it got annoying, you know. But in the moment, like for the first hour after that, I told Brennan, I said, I think I got internal bleeding from that one. I mean, it was awful. And then I told Doug, I was like, I think I need the number to the suicide hotline because I was ready to kill myself over that. It was bad. It was a real screw up. But it wasn't just a screw up. I was acting like a jackass because Smitty asked me to act like a jackass. The only problem was I was an actual jackass that didn't do 3 cuts, and I could have won. And, you know, my saw was legitimately faster than what Smitty's was running, so maybe I could have got 2nd place. I don't think I could have got 1st. But, you know, I definitely, if Smitty was able to get 3rd, as long as I had good runs, I could have gotten 3rd too. But you never know. I may have gotten up and screwed up then too. You can't do that. But right before that, I was just talking with somebody. I think I was talking with Robin Walter, Triple S chainsaws. He's pretty big on TikTok, I think. Maybe Instagram. I don't know. I don't follow socials very much. You know, I really don't. He's not real big on YouTube, if at all. But make a comment, Robin. Tell people where to find you. He's one to look out for. He's doing some really great work. All right, and he's looking to get some port work. So I got a couple of you guys emailing me. You know, one of you guys just sent me an email about Steel MS440. Who should I send it to? Send it to Robin. Robin will hook you up. Triple S chainsaws. Something like that. Anyways, the guy's name's Robin Walter. And I was talking with Robin right before I got up there, and just get a good start and 3 good cuts. That should be the only thing that you're trying to do. The only thing you're trying to do is a good start and 3 clean cuts, right? And as long as you get that, then you can be happy and you're not disappointed, right? Because the disappointment sets in when you get up there and you screw the pooch and you're like, my saw could have done so much better, because the burden's all on you then. I screwed up. Whenever you screw up, it hurts, man. It is painful. And then for the next 2 days, you got to get reminded every 3 minutes. But it was a great time. Absolutely loved it. But to me, the very best part about Sawfest, and this is what sets it apart from everything else. Yes, the competition's excellent. Yes, it's excellent that you're standing up there 4 deep. Boom, 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 boom. And, you do 4 at a time. That is so cool to do 4 at a time. Yes, they have different classes and all this stuff. But by a long shot, the best part about Sawfest is what happens when the racing stops. That's it. Because racing stopped this year really early. We're talking like 6 o'clock p.m., something like that. It stopped really early. And then you just hung around and you hung out with everybody and you talked. That was awesome. People have been bitching about not getting enough time to talk with everybody. Well, I think they really fixed that. As long as you stayed afterwards. If you left early, then you didn't get it. But they did. We had plenty of time to hang out. And I can remember I was talking with my buddy, Jonathan, which Jonathan's the guy that has really helped me out with the 5 series. And I couldn't be as good as I am with any of the modern saws without him, because he really has taken the time to teach me how they work. And but my buddy Jonathan and Shaun Carr were talking, because Shaun Carr is no stranger danger to the 5 series. He has done some awesome work as well. And so they were bouncing ideas off of each other, and it was fantastic just to sit there. I told him, I said, I love being the stupidest person in the room. If you watch the channel, you've heard me say, if not that, very similar things, And it's true. I really like being the dumb one, because that means that I'm sitting there learning and soaking it up. And if I've got that mindset, then it's probably rare that I am the actual dumb one, because, well, dumb ones probably don't want to just sit there and learn, I don't know, I guess. I shouldn't even say that, man. It's so fucking judgmental. And let me backtrack on that, right? I like being the dumb one in the room because I like to learn, all right? And that's it. And it doesn't have anything to do with anybody else, anybody else. I enjoy the shit out of it whenever 2 guys who have superior knowledge on a topic that I am interested in, and they're talking with each other, and I get to sit there and just be the sponge. It's wonderful. It's wonderful. I had such a great time. But whenever that broke up, I am now walking back to the area, because that was way at the end of a parking lot. And I'm walking back to where everybody's at. And there's little spots here, these guys, Garrett and Joe and Ethan, all of those guys are down here, and they're set up at their camper trailer or their tents or whatever it is they got going on. And I could stop and I could hang out with them. Then you got Nate and Cleve and Mike. They're all right here. And Jody, I could stop and I could hang out with them, you know. And you got Smitty and Joey and Jonathan Cox, John Cox. I could stop and I could hang out with them. Or I could go over here and I could hang out with, you get what I'm saying? And as I'm walking back and I'm trying to decide who I should stop and hang out and talk to, right? And I'm like, man, I got about 50 people here that I could stop and hang out with for 3 hours. And we'd all have a good time, you know? And I was like, but I can't choose. And I thought to myself, what a wonderful problem to have, man. A wonderful problem to have. I've got so many people here that I like so much that I could stop and hang out with them and enjoy the hell out of myself, you know? But I can't choose. Should I hang out with them? Hang out with them? Hang out with them? I decided to go where the heat was, and I went to the bonfire because it was pretty cold at nights and stuff. So, but I was like, wow, this is great. So my point in all this is if you go to one of these races, and you're not staying for the hangout, it's not going to be half as fun for you as it is for us guys that stay at the hangout. So when you go to Sawfest, my suggestion is be prepared to camp out there, because you know it's completely open to camp out where in the field where everybody parks and stuff, completely open. Or at least plan to stay really late. For me, that stuff's easy to do because I don't drink. And so it's not like I'm going to get drunk and not want to drive to my hotel. All right, that problem doesn't exist for me. But I am one of the very lucky ones. I usually get to stay there on the property, and I'm very, very thankful to the guys for opening up for their hospitality. But definitely bring a tent with you and just camp in that field, you know, because you want to be able to stay there talking until midnight and then go to sleep. See what I'm saying? That's what you do. Oh, I guess the last thing I'll tell you is I got to show you what I won. All right. So you can buy tickets, you know, for like raffle drawing stuff, you know, you can buy tickets, but I'm looking at everything. I'm looking at the table and everything, and I go, you know, I've got everything that's on this table. You know, like there was an opportunity to win one of these setups from Dino Joe, right? Well, I've got one. No need for that opportunity, you know, so, and it was just all kinds of stuff over and over like that. And I said to Emma, which is Eric's little girl, and she's there. She usually does all the ticket stuff and everything. And I said, I don't need any tickets. I don't want any tickets. Here's donation for you guys, for the Sawfest crew and everything. Here's a donation, but don't worry about giving me no tickets. And she said, well, you get one ticket automatically just for joining, for racing. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, all right, cool. And I looked at the table, and there was only one thing that I wanted, period. That's it. For me, personally, I've got everything that's on that table. So I'm like, there's only one thing that I wanted. And lo and behold, they called my name early on, and I fucking got it. Check that out. I was like, holy moly, holy moly, holy moly. The only problem that I have with this, I mean, oh yeah, it'd be great if it was a Johnson Red or something like that, you know, but I like my FCO products as well. But the only problem I have with it is it's so damn big, I'm like, where am I going to put it? You know, because all my walls, like this right here, this is full of stuff, you know, so I'm like, I'm looking around, I'm sure I could put it on the front of my barn if I wanted to advertise that I got a bunch of chainsaws inside here, so please come and steal them. You know, but I don't want to advertise that. So I'm not going to put it on the front of my barn. And So, but I do have a couple places in mind, and we'll see what I figure out and where I put it. But yeah, that's it. That's a wrap on Sawfest 2025. And now I'm super excited because I get the opportunity. You know what it's like whenever you're like, I got all these things, but I got this one big thing that's coming up in like 3 days or something like that. And I'm like, I just can't get to them, you know, because this thing is an interrupter. Well, Sawfest is over. Now that we're on the back side of Sawfest, I feel like I can get back to normal, start doing the things that I've been wanting to do, like finally doing the giveaway for the cheap saw that I built for the split fire wood splitter. Count up all the pieces of wood and stuff. That's going to be going on. I'm going to get done with this video right now. Go test that against the 500i and get that ball rolling. So